My brother, a commercial pilot, called me. I need to ask you something strange. Your wife, is she home right now? Yes, I said. She's in the kitchen. He paused. That can't be true. I just saw her board a flight to Paris with another man. Then I heard the shower turn on upstairs. I was answering emails in my home office when my phone lit up with a call from my brother, Grant. That was already weird. We usually just text. I picked up, figuring it was something quick. Hey, he said, sounding rushed. Is Tessa home right now? I blinked. Yeah. She's literally in the kitchen. Why, she's there right now. You're sure? I leaned back in my chair and glanced out into the hallway. Tessa was there, pouring coffee into my travel mug, the silver one with the green stripes she gave me last Christmas. Yeah, what's going on? There was a pause. Too long. Then Grant said, I think I'm looking right at her. She's boarding my flight. I didn't get it. Boarding what? My flight to Paris. I'm at JFK walking onto the plane. She's already seated in business class. She's with some guy. My body went still, cold, like I'd just stepped into a walk-in freezer. She's right here, I said again, quieter this time. I'm looking at her. You sure? Grant asked. I stood up. My heart was pounding, like I'd just sprinted. Yes, she just. Right then, Tessa walked into the doorway, holding out my mug. She was smiling, relaxed, wearing her navy cardigan and yoga pants. You forgot this again, she said. She looked exactly like she always did. Hair tied back, no makeup, calm as heck. I forced a smile and took the mug. Thanks. You want eggs? She asked, already turning back toward the kitchen. Yeah, sure. She disappeared down the hall, like nothing was off. Like my brother didn't just say he saw her 30 minutes away boarding a plane with another man. Quick note, before listening, share which city or country you're watching from. I stared at my phone, still in my hand. My pulse hadn't dropped. My hand was actually shaking. I texted Grant. Are you sure it was her? Nothing about this made sense. The way she smiled, the way she moved. I'd been with Tessa 7 years. I knew her walk, her voice, even the dumb way she hummed while she buttered toast. I stepped out into the hallway again. She was at the counter, humming that exact tune, light as ever. I walked back into my office and shut the door, like I didn't just feel the floor drop out from under me. My fingers flew over my phone. Grant sent message, just a photo, no words. The timestamp said 8:42 a.m. the same minute we were texting. It was happening live. There she was, business class, window seat, hair curled and down, navy cardigan, and next to her, some guy in a tailored suit, maybe early 40s. Sharp fade, expensive watch. They weren't touching, but they didn't need to be. She was laughing, head tilted toward him like they were It was her. It was Tessa. I sat down too hard in my chair and stared at the picture until my eyes blurred. Then I looked back out the door. She was still there, still making breakfast. So, I played it cool, got my eggs, made small talk, nodded when she told me about her plan to hit yoga and Trader Joe's, pretended like I wasn't watching her every move. But now, I couldn't unsee what I'd missed. The gym bag by the door, always packed, never actually looked used. Her water bottle didn't even have condensation in it. That day's load of laundry, gym clothes again, all washed, barely smelled like sweat. And trust me, she used to come back soaked from those workouts. Her phone buzzed around one. She glanced at it, clicked it off fast. I saw the name, just the letter A. What's a stand for? I asked casually. She didn't miss a beat. Amanda, from the yoga class, keeps trying to sell me essential oils. Sure, later I caught the perfume again. Not the citrusy stuff she used for years. This one was deeper. I asked her when she switched. 2 weeks ago. You don't like it? I like it, just surprised. She smiled like I was being cute. But inside, something was starting to boil. That night, we sat on the couch watching some dumb home reno show. I waited until she was halfway through her wine and then dropped it. Hey, Grant texted me from JFK. I said, oh yeah, she asked, eyes still on the TV. Yeah, he's flying out to Paris tonight. Business trip. She blinked and looked at me. He is. You didn't know. She shrugged. No, haven't talked to him in a while. I stared at her. She took another sip of wine, completely at ease. I excused myself and went back to my office, opened my laptop, logged into our credit card account, and that's when it really started unraveling. First thing I saw, 3 separate Uber rides charged to our shared card over the past 10 days. None of them matched anywhere Tessa said she'd been. One was to a private hangar at Teterboro Airport. She hates flying. That's what she's always said. I dug deeper. American Airlines reward points. Thousands of them, tied to an email I didn't recognize. Something generic. tessic.rodwell.allwashprotonmail.com. We don't use protonmail.com. We don't use There were flight confirmations to Chicago, D.C., Montreal, none of which she mentioned. But the names matched the bonus miles on the account. I tried to log into that email locked, so I tried password recovery. The recovery text was going to a number I didn't know, and when I Googled it, nothing burner. I leaned back, heart hammering. I wasn't just being paranoid. Something was off. Deeply off. I opened our phone plan dashboard. Hers showed the usual call history, mostly me, A few spam calls, her sister once or twice, but the timestamps didn't match. The phone was ringing when the dashboard showed nothing, which meant one of two things. Either she had another number, or this wasn't her phone at all. I walked down the hall. She was brushing her teeth in the mirror, wearing the old college tee I gave her years ago. "You okay?" she asked through phone. "Yeah," I said, "just had a weird dream last night." "What about?" "I don't know. You were in two places at once." She laughed and spit. Well, I am that talented. I watched her closely. No hesitation, no nervous laugh, no stumble. She wasn't hiding something. She was hiding everything. And right then, I realized something I never thought I'd have to ask. Who the heck is the woman sleeping in my house? The next morning, I texted Mike Ellis. We hadn't talked much since college, just the occasional buyer when he was in town. But I knew what he did now. Cyber forensics, used to work Homeland Security. The kind of guy who could break into a laptop with a pen cap and a thumb drive. I didn't give him the full story right away. Just told him I had suspicions and needed to see if someone was hiding something on their phone. He replied 2 minutes later, "Bring it over. I'll clear the afternoon." I told Tessa I had meetings downtown and left early with her phone in my bag. Told her I bring it to the Apple store since the battery was acting weird. She didn't even blink. Mike lived in Hoboken now, tiny apartment. It looked like half his stuff came from the government auctions, but his workspace, tight. 3 monitors, 1 tower, 2 laptops, cables everywhere. He took the phone, plugged it in, and got to work. "You want the full clone or just access?" he asked. "Everything. I want to see what she's not showing me." He nodded. "Give me 20 minutes. It took 12. "All right," he said, spinning the chair toward me. "You ready for some messed up shot?" On screen 1, her regular iCloud account. Nothing surprising. Photos of us, saved texts, location history that matched what she told me. Then he opened another screen. Secondary cloud account, not linked to her Apple ID, buried under a hidden app. Dozens of photos, some encrypted, most weren't. I leaned in her with different hairstyles, different clothes. One shot had her in a red dress, standing in front of a casino in Macau. Another, jeans and a ponytail, laughing with a man on a yacht. Then another, serious, business casual ID badge on a lanyard, under the name Kara. 2 identities, 2 different lives. "She's got 2 numbers, 2, Mike said. "The one you know, and this one. Secondary SIM, installed through eSIM a few months back." That explained the phone plan glitch. The calls I saw missing weren't from her regular number at all. He pulled up text logs from the hidden number. One thread stood out. Contact name, Nico. Nico, confirms switch logistics for Thursday. You rehearsed cover. Tessa, running full sequence. Barrett's blind as ever. Nico, stay clean. No loose ends. Tessa, always Barrett. That was me. I felt my stomach, not like butterflies. More like it was folding in on itself. "She's rehearsing?" I asked. "Like a script. Looks that way," Mike said. "Whatever this is, it's professional." I stood up and paced. Could this be some kind of scam? A long con? Mike shrugged. Could be espionage, could be financial, could just be sick fun, but there's structure. Coordination. This isn't some girl cheating on her husband. This is a damn blueprint. I pulled up our building's tenant portal on his screen and opened the lobby camera. Footage from the day before. There she was. Time said 4:18 p.m. She walked in, gym bag over her shoulder. But something was wrong. "Wait," I said. "She told me she got home at 5:30. Mike replayed the footage, slowed it down. The video glitched just for a second, but enough. "Back it up." He did. Same glitch. A blur at the edge of the frame, like a transition. "This footage has been edited," Mike said, "and not by a kid on TikTok. This is pro level." I stared at the screen. My building's cameras weren't secure. Anyone with access and the right software could scrub it. "She covered her tracks," I said. "No," Mike replied, eyes sharp. "Someone helped her." I didn't know it then, but he was right. She wasn't working alone. I got home that night and didn't say a word about the video. That didn't mention Mike, didn't mention Nico. Instead, I went to the grocery store and bought shrimp, scallops, clams, things she'd always claimed she was allergic to. She was sitting on the couch reading when I walked in. "I felt like cooking," I said. She smiled without looking up. "What's the occasion?" "We just wanted to do something nice." She came into the kitchen while I chopped garlic, leaned against the counter like she always did. I could feel her eyes on me, but she didn't say a thing when the smell of shellfish filled the room. I made her bowl first. More clams. Extra heat. I set it down in front of her and watched. She didn't hesitate. She took a bite, nodded and said, This is really good. I forgot how much I love this dish." I just stared at her. "You sure it's not too much?" "No, it's perfect," she said, smiling. "You finally didn't overcook this." She kept eating. 10 minutes went by. No rash, no wheezing, no EpiPen, nothing. Just a woman enjoying her favorite stew, like she hadn't spent years avoiding it like poison. My stomach turned. "Hey, I need to grab something from your cabinet," I said. "That warranty file for the dishwasher?" "Yeah, it's in the bottom drawer." "Need the key?" "No, I've got the copy." She nodded and went back to her food. I walked down the hall to her home office, unlocked the cabinet, and opened the bottom drawer. The The warranty folder was there, but right behind it, I saw something thicker. Manila unlit. I pulled it out. Inside was a tabbed folder titled, Marital Notes, Lucas Barrett. My chest tightened. I flipped it open. It was me. All of me. My schedule. The way I like my coffee. How I don't sleep well after 3 a.m. What I say when I'm annoyed but don't want to argue. She had entire pages breaking down my tone patterns, my travel history, even my favorite jokes. Avoid pushing political debates. Default to neutral. Leave him space between 10 to 11 p.m. His winding down window. Laugh at second-tier jokes. He tracks the first one. It was like someone had studied me the way a zookeeper studies an animal. I kept going. Behind the notes was a photocopy of my passport, then hers, only it wasn't the one I knew. Different photo, different birth date, different last name. Beneath that, a burner phone. I powered it on. There were only a few messages, all outgoing, all to Nico. Schedule running smoothly, no suspicions, using fallback cover. Travel, alibi held. The Barrett routine is secure. I couldn't feel my hands. I stared at the phone, the dossier, the fake ID. This wasn't infidelity. It wasn't a midlife crisis or some weird open marriage thing. This was calculated, engineered. Every move she made was part of a damn operation. I shoved everything back in the folder, tucked it under my shirt, and walked down the hall. She was rinsing her bowl, humming. I might work late tonight, I said. She glanced over. Everything okay? Yeah, I said. Just backed up. All right. Drive safe. She smiled. That smile used to make me feel like I had a home. Now it felt like a mask glued on too tight. I didn't go to work that night. I went to see Dana Kingsley. She was my ex back in college. Smart, sharp-tongued, always 3 moves ahead of everyone. These days she ran private security for high-net-worth finance firms, mostly fraud detection and asset recovery. Not cheap, not warm, but if someone was bleeding you dry, Dana could find the wound. She met me at her office in Midtown. Glass walls and black granite floors. Still wore her hair in that no bun. Still looked like she hadn't taken crap from anyone since 2007. I handed her the folder and the burner phone. Didn't even have to say much. When she saw the messages to Nico, she leaned back and muttered, "Damn, you believe me?" I asked. "I believe this isn't just about mating," she said. "And if she's doing all this, you're not the only mark." I sat down, while she started scanning documents and tapping out messages to God knows who. After about 20 minutes she turned her laptop toward me. "Your joint checking account. She's been draining it. I've been watching. The withdrawals are small. Exactly, all under 10 grand. She's pulling cash in chunks just below the federal reporting threshold. Classic structuring move, makes it harder for banks to flag." She pulled up another screen. "Also looks like she's been liquidating parts of your investment account. She's moving it through a shell company registered out of Malta. Real slick. Nothing's technically illegal yet, but once that money's overseas, good luck pulling it back without a legal war." I sat there, jaw tight. "How long has this been happening?" "Long enough," she said. "Most of it started 5, maybe 6 months ago." She clicked another tab. My stomach turned. Surveillance photos. Geneva, Miami, Singapore. 3 different cities, all within the last 6 months. In each one there she was. Hair color shifted, outfits changed, but same woman, same smile, always with a man. Different ones in each photo, except for 2. One guy showed up in both Geneva and Singapore. Same suit, same damn smug posture. "That's the guy from Grant's photo," I said. Dana nodded. "Could be the handler, could be the partner. Hard to say." "So what is this?" I asked. "Some long con marriage scam." She turned to me. "No, this is asset exfiltration. They pick targets with soft points. Trust, routine, decent income, no history of suspicion, and bleed them slow. You're not just her husband, Lucas. You're a vault." She closed the laptop. "I'll help, but you need to understand, if this gets out of hand legally, you're not just a victim. You're the guy whose name is on every financial file. They'll come after you first." "I get it." "No, I don't think you do," she said. "If she moves one more major asset offshore, you could be staring at wire fraud charges and don't even know it." I didn't say anything. She sighed and stood. "Let me dig further. I've got a few eyes overseas. But whatever she's into, it's bigger than just you." 2 days later, Dana called me at midnight. "Get out of bed," she said. "You need to see this." I drove to her office in sweats and a hoodie, heart pounding the whole way. She met me at the elevator, holding 2 folders and a black coffee. "You're not married to Tessa Barrett," she said. "No build-up, not legally, anyway." I stopped walking. "What are you talking about?" She tossed the first folder onto her desk. "We ran the facial data against international passport databases. Got a hit. A photo, different name. Kara List, black hair in the passport, but the cheekbones, the eyes, no doubt, it was her. She's used 5 names that we can confirm. Lived in 7 cities, at least for known relationships that follow the same pattern. Deep involvement, asset mergers, then poof, always under a new name." I sat down. "Jesus Christ." Dana nodded. "We think this is organized, not just a one-woman show. Someone's training them. This level of detail, planning, cover stories, it's surgical. Right then, my phone buzzed. Mike, I put him on speaker. You sitting down? He asked. Yeah. I cracked the burner phone. Got into the secure vault through an exploit on the messaging app. It's not just Nico and Kara. This thing is structured. Think Conring playbooks, timelines, roles. Dana leaned forward. Mike kept going. There's a whole folder labeled husband profiles, tier 2 names, financials, habits, even personal trauma notes. I'm seeing 15 profiles. Yours is number 6. Are they all married? I asked. Some were, some weren't. All male, all high earners, mostly in finance or tech. There's even a ranking system. Predictability, emotional openness, legal aggression score. It's nuts. Dana looked at me. This is bigger than fraud. These women are being built, trained, deployed. I felt like I was floating outside my body. How many have they hit already? I asked. Mike sighed. Hard to say. But the data suggests this operation's been running for at least 8 years. Maybe longer. So I'm not just some guy she tricked into marriage, I said slowly. I'm one of many. Mike was quiet for a second. Then, she's not pretending to be your wife. She is your wife. The version they designed for you. I didn't answer. There was nothing to say. I looked back at the passport photo. Kara Liss. Her eyes were colder in that picture, but it was still her. Same dimple on the left. Same mouth that whispered goodnight for 3 years straight. Everything I thought I knew. The first date. The way she kissed me after we got engaged. Even the dumb little dance she did when she liked a song. All of it was rehearsed. This wasn't cheating. It wasn't betrayal. It was a heist. And I wasn't just robbed. I was played. 3 days later I set the trap. We invited her friends over for brunch. The ones she swore she met through yoga and book clubs. All of them polished, low-profile women who never said too much. I didn't trust a single one. But I smiled, poured mimosas, and made waffles like we were one of those Pinterest couples. The bait was already planted. A folder titled, Final Transfer Authorization, sitting in our joint investment account. Dana made it look like a routine rollover from a trust fund I'd just received. With account numbers and access codes she'd programmed to activate a backdoor worm. 1 click, and the money would freeze. 2 clicks, and the system would tag the user's IP and alert the IRS. We were betting she couldn't resist. At exactly 11:06 a.m. while I was handing out coffee cake, Dana sent me a text. She's in. VPN's Romanian lock triggered IRS alerted. I looked over at Tessa. No. Mara standing by the sink pretending to laugh at something. One of the women said, phone in hand, calm as ever. I walked into the hallway and made the call. The IRS contact. Dana pulled and was already on standby, he said. They'd be knocking in 5 minutes. I hung up, went back in and watched her pour herself another cup of coffee. You okay? She asked. Yeah, I said. You? Perfect. She smiled. I felt sick within minutes. The knock came sharp, heavy. Everyone froze. Mara had turned just slightly too slow to precise, like she knew. I opened the door to agents in suits. One held up a badge. Lucas Barrett. Yet we have a federal warrant for search and seizure. We need everyone to remain in the residence. Behind me, I heard a mug clink against the sink. I turned. Mara didn't run, didn't scream. She just set the coffee down, wiped her hands with a dish towel, and looked at me. You're smarter than the others, she said. Just like that. Flat. No emotion. Like she was complimenting a chess move. The agents moved fast. One cuffed her, read her rights. The other started collecting electronics. Laptops, hard drives, even the modem, the so-called friends. Not a word. One of them started crying. Another bolted for the door. The agent stopped her cold. Mara didn't even flinch. They let her out in cuffs. She didn't fight, didn't plead, just walked like she'd practiced it. That night, Dana and I met the lead agent at the downtown office. They gave us the first update. She cracked quick, the agent said. Real name's Mara Lynette. Romanian-born U.S. citizenship, through a forged marriage 15 years ago. She's part of a cell we've been tracking. International finance fraud through identity blending, psychological mimicry, relationship infiltration, long-term extraction. I asked the only question that mattered. What about the real Tessa? The agent looked down. There's no sign of her. Best guess. She was an early target. Her identity was scrubbed clean and repurposed. Dana crossed her arms. So this woman's been Mara longer than she was ever Tessa. She handed us their playbook, he added. Targets, procedures, staging, backup identities, even their fallback countries. We're talking training manuals. Like they run their ops out of a damn classroom. I sat back. Every kiss, every inside joke, every normal Tuesday practiced, rehearsed. She didn't marry me because she loved me. She married me because I fit the profile. It didn't stay quiet. The week after Mara got arrested, the story hit every major outlet. Headlines like, Man Uncovers Wife's Identity Fraud Ring were everywhere. News sites, podcasts, even a couple daytime talk shows tried to reach out. I ignored them all. I had enough attention from the FBI and the IRS. I ended up testifying in 2 states, once in New Jersey, once in Florida. Both were for victims who came forward after the article broke. Turns out, I wasn't even the first, just the one loud enough to finally blow the doors off. One guy was a hedge fund analyst in Tampa. Another was a dentist in Baltimore. Both had wives who vanished after a couple of years. No real names, no real trails, just drained accounts and a couple of fake wedding photos in total. 5 men stepped forward. Same playbook, different faces. According to Homeland Security, the group was international, based in Eastern Europe, trained across borders. These weren't just thieves. They were actors, groomed to play long-term roles, sent in to gain trust, merge finances, collect data, and then vanish with clean exits. Mara was the first big arrest they got. She pled out fast. 15 years federal, no parole. The others, still out there. Nico disappeared 3 days before her arraignment, wiped his phone, emptied the dummy accounts. Gone. Some think he was tipped off. Others think he was never in the US to begin with. They froze 6 offshore bank accounts linked to Mara's operation, traced 3 properties and other names. Dana's legal team managed to recover most of what she took from me, minus the taxes and the legal fees. Of course, I lost the apartment. Too much bad air. Every cabinet I opened made me want to puke. I packed up the essentials and let the bank list it. The real Tessa Barrett, still missing, probably long gone, but her name's now permanently flagged by Homeland Security. Can't get on a domestic flight or open a savings account without a file getting pulled. They're watching. Doesn't help much, but it's something. After the dust settled, I got a call from an old contact at a financial firm I used to audit. They were building a new freelance team for asset tracing. High net worth divorcees mostly. Prenup violations, hidden offshore transfers. I said yes. I figured if I could spot con artists now, might as well get paid for it. My first case, a woman tried to hide a $3 million crypto stash during a divorce. Her husband was convinced she was just bad with money. I found 6 wallets linked to a Singapore exchange. Game over these days. I work remote, low profile. I don't talk much. Don't date. Not interested. People ask if I'm angry. No, not anymore. Anger was for month 1. Month 2 was grief. By month 4, I realized it wasn't about feelings. It was about clarity. Everything in my life now is mine. Clean, no lies, no performance, just me. And a job that finally makes sense. It had been 10 months since Mara got dragged out of my condo in cuffs. Now I lived in a 1-bedroom place above a sandwich shop in Hoboken. No view, no doorman, no marble counter. But every key in the place belonged to me. No shared accounts, no shared passwords. No one sneaking around pretending to love me. I kept it simple. Dana checked in every few weeks. Sometimes we'd grab drinks at a dive bar near the river. Nothing serious. She wasn't wired for romance. And honestly, neither was I anymore. She respected boundaries. I respected the heck out of that. What I did now, I hunted ghosts. Quiet fraud, long cons, partner impersonations. I worked freelance with firms who knew how deep this stuff went. My clients, other men like me. Guys who'd been told they were crazy, insecure, controlling, when really, they were targets. I helped one guy stop a fake wife from cleaning out his brokerage account the day before he signed over power of attorney. Another was a retired Navy officer whose spouse had been collecting life insurance under a second identity. The wildest one, a hedge fund guy who thought his wife was just into crypto. She'd moved $900,000 into NFTs and offloaded them under an alias in Dubai. He found out when I traced the wallet through a server in Iceland. I knew the signs now. 2 perfect routines, overlapping travel excuses. Perfume that didn't match the one she said she bought. Men ignore the little details until they blow up. I didn't anymore. And I taught my clients not to either. Every time I caught one of these women before the exit point, it felt like I was clawing back a little piece of what Mara stole from me, from all of us.